Yeah, running later than I want to be. Not as late as it was yesterday. I apologize for not being on yesterday. It was unavoidable. Oh, what a cutie. It was unavoidable. Yeah, a little old dog. It looked like mostly poodle. Cute as could be. Out walking her, whatever it was. Don't know, don't care. Doesn't matter. Anyway, yes, it was unavoidable. I guess I could have, but I hate to say it like this. I was moving right along yesterday trying to get myself to work without messing anything up because I was late. I put on a video for my cats. Relax My Cat. There's a couple of others. There's a new one called Sleepy Cats. I thought to myself, well, let's try this. I don't know how it worked on the cats because it sure did put me to sleep right quick. And I mean, I was out. It was awful. Awful morning, Brother Allen. How you? Good to see you this morning. Is it is it cool in Texas this morning? Uh, you know that's a joke, right? Everybody knows that's a joke. Oh, goodness gracious. Hmm. Oh, it is cool, is it? Bless your heart, it's 75 degrees here. It's not cool. Morning. Excuse me. Oh, I was up late working on some stuff. Cool 75. Yeah, right. Good morning. Hmm. Tell you what, that's cool for what it's going to be at about 2 o'clock, maybe 3. Oh, goodness, excuse me. I don't know why in the world I'm yawning so bad this morning. Hmm. I think I should have drunk a little more coffee. Maybe. Maybe not. Don't matter. It all is like it's supposed to be, and I'm thankful for it. If it was any other way than what it was supposed to be, I might decide to change things. And what I would change would not be good. I might think it was good, but it really wouldn't be. Well, have some of your what? Uh, I read about different people in the past. When I was both younger in age and younger in the faith, I thought people like B.B. Warfield and Charles Hodge, Arthur Pink, I thought they were just wonderful. And I read how that Warfield, I believe it was, would have his students, some of them, the good ones. Oh, why did you find? I told you I just about had it all revised. Why were you even looking for it? Goodness gracious. Oh, ye a little faith. Anyway, what was I trying to say? Oh, Warfield. And how he'd have his students, some of them, in his home on Sunday evenings. They'd be sitting around the kitchen table and he'd light up his pipe and they would discuss theology. Theology. And I thought, man, that'd be all right. I thought to myself, I'll never be a professor. At the seminary, the way he was, number one, I don't have the book learning and qualifications, but it is necessary for that. Number two, don't believe in them. In other words, if I did believe in them, wouldn't qualify. Nobody'd have me. So what I'm getting at here is, I always thought though how nice it would be together with a bunch of folks at the kitchen table. Light up the pipe, discuss what you call it, theology or the things of the Lord or what, but just be sitting there and talking about it. Yes, talking about it, rejoicing, asking questions, getting answers, answering questions, not knowing the answer to questions, everything like that. So, anyway, I guess this is as close as probably I'll ever come to that. And I want y'all to know I'm thankful for you that gather with me in the morning, whether it's there in the living room or here in the car or wherever. I am. I'm thankful for you. I want you to know that. I hope I'm not just mouthing words, but I am stating what I feel in my heart. And I am thankful that the Lord has given me brethren with whom I can, for want of a better term, commune. Y'all know, and I'm going to look this up, Lord willing, tonight, or this evening at least, when I get home. When did the word communion start being used for the Lord's Supper? I don't believe it's a biblical term for it. I think communion is probably a better word than what God's children have together than fellowship, maybe. And the only reason I say that is because fellowship connotes some things today that it might not have done back in the uh, time when our common translation was done. Yes, it is the best of blessings to have brethren. Oh, excuse me. Been burned in the past. Sometimes we do it probably cautiously. I don't ever want to reject someone. They feel like they've been bought with the same price that I hope I've been bought with. Does that make any sense? But I also don't want to confirm them in their errors. I don't want them to think they can be complacent in their errors. But I also want to be tolerant because Lord knows God's people were tolerant with me. And I don't want to sound like a braggart, but I didn't have as many errors as some people when I come amongst the old Baptists because I had been through Arminianism and I've been through conditional time salvation primitives. I've been through those that thought the Puritans were the greatest thing in the world. And all of that. You know what? I still had errors. I still had Babylonian garments I needed to take off, and I couldn't do it. I had to be stripped of them. Yes, I did. Well, I want you to know that the Lord's blessed me over the years to see my faults. Oh, excuse me again. Lord bless me to see my faults. And He's blessed me by correcting some of them. I'm sure there's some He hasn't. Before anybody starts, I know I don't have enough charity about me. Somebody told me many years ago, if I talking like I did about predestination, election, eternal union, and those things, that I would offend my conditionalist brethren. I looked that person in the face and said, I don't have any conditionalist brethren. I still don't. I may have some brethren amongst the conditionalists who've been taught better, but they don't know where to go or how to go. But if they truly believe in conditional time salvation, they're not my brethren. I just soon fellowship a plain old Arminian Southern Baptist who thinks he's a Calvinist. You know what you got when you got them. You know, restless and reformed. Uh, I knew some of them, not at the time of the movement, but there were some of us who would have probably claimed that title back in the day. We didn't know any better on the reform. We thought anybody that believed in sovereign grace was reformed. Now I think we know better. I hope we do. Yes, many of the reformers, most of them picked up a semblance at least to sovereign grace, but they picked it up about 1,500 years too late, 1,400. Well, talk to them. Find you some of them New Covenant believers. You know, there's people that now, I tell you, New Covenant theology. I ain't found anything yet that I disagreed with big on that. A lot of them are Baptists of some sort or the other. At least they know that baptism's by immersion and not by sprinkling. At least they know that baptism should be performed on adults, not on children, infants. At least they don't try to stick the law on you and say, this is your rule. Huh, you're right, they're not. They're not lawmongers. They wouldn't be New Covenant if they weren't. I believe anybody that thinks you ought to have the moral so-called law as a believer's rule of life is trying to bring believers back under the old covenant. And I submit to you they are. I agree with them on that. Now, most of them's not going to say that, but that's really what they want. They want to glorify glory in you and your obedience. And see, look how good little soldiers we got lined up here. We've got all these drones. They're clones of one another. And they're going to mouth the same thing in their, they're going to speak the same thing with their mouths. They're going to do the same things. They're going to think the same things. They're going to do all of these things together with one accord because they have been, as it were, brainwashed. That you got to listen to your elders, presbyters, and you must conform. Man, we were nonconformists back before the conforming was a thing. You got to wear certain clothes. You got to cut your hair a certain way. You got to do this, that, and the other so you can fit in, so that everybody will know what you are by just looking at you. That's what they want. They want you. They don't want you. They want you to be conformed to their image. When God's children's desire is to be conformed to the image of Jesus Christ. Not to the image of any man, not to the image of any theologian. Well, kind of ramblified today, huh? More than usual. Mind going 5 different directions at the same time. Main thing I got on here for, though, is tell y'all how much you mean to me. My regular listeners and my occasional listeners, if I know who you are, if I can figure you out. I love the sons of grace, the heirs of bliss divine. You want to get away from the work mongers? I hope you do. Hope that's why you tune in here. Because you're tired of the work mongers of this world that proclaim sovereign grace out of one side of their mouth and works out of the other. And you know there's enough of them out there that do that, and most of us have been blinded by them at one time or another. Standing there with the Bible in one hand, saying, stand fast in the liberty wherewith Christ has made you free, and had Ernest Kevin's The Grace of Law in the other hand, saying, but you got to conform to the law, because that's the standard. We're going to talk about standards someday. I got to get off here. Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow. Lord willing, we'll dialogue. Lord willing. I'll see you then. No, Lord's with you to bless you.